Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. This video is the kickoff video to my Create Where You Are October Kit to Go. It's featuring the Poinsettia Petals bundle and other things in the Poinsettia Place suite. My kits to go every month are a kit of products that you will use to create the cards in the class. This card that I'm going to show you today is one of the cards that you will make in the class. You will actually make 2 of them, and you'll make 8 cards total, 4 cards, 2 of each design. So you'll make 2 of these, and then you'll make 6 other cards, and those are exclusive to the class, and I don't show them anywhere else. So the kit to go is $45, and that includes the cut cardstock pieces for you to make the 8 cards, plus envelopes. Plus, you will receive a half a package of the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. So you'll have these patterns here in your kit. You also get a half a pack of the Plush Poinsettia Designer Series paper, and that is this paper that has these gorgeous velvet accents. And you'll notice on some of these pieces, there are dies in this particular set of dies in the bundle that will cut out these large flowers. The dies will also cut out these little sprigs, and then of course these leaves, so that's pretty cool. You also will receive 2 sheets of our gold foil, and all the papers will be cut to 6x6. You will also receive a half a pack of our beaded pearl accents, which we are going to be using on the sample card today. You'll get a half a roll of our silver metallic edged ribbon and a half a roll of the red sheer ribbon. And then I think I said you get the envelopes also. So that's included in your kit for the $45. Now, if you want to add the Poinsettia Petals bundle to your kit, if you don't have these already, you can do that for an extra $65. So the total for the kit and the bundle would be $110. If you do want that option, I do have a form linked in this video below that you can fill out, and I can send you a PayPal invoice. Otherwise, if you just want the kit, the link to the PayPal is right below in the video. So let me talk a little bit about the bundle. So the bundle is a set of 18 stamps. These are our photopolymer stamps. And then the poinsettia dies is a set of 18 different dies. And I do have some of those things cut out for you. So you'll notice in the stamp set, there are these 4 poinsettia pieces. So you have the full poinsettia here that you can crop out. And then there are 3 singles. So we have this one, and this one. These 3 here. And then this little guy has a little filler piece. As you can see, I've stamped it there. And then there's a little tiny middle piece here that I did stamp in the So Saffron. And so you can layer these to create a full poinsettia. You just layer those together. You can fluff up the petals if you want. The die set also includes dies to cut out these leaves. And some the other dies, well, let me just pull them out and kind of show you. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words because I'm trying to describe something that I could actually just show you rather than stumble over my words and speak it. So we have the large leaf and the small leaf. So as you can see, you can stamp those images and their center pieces and then crop them out. You can also just take a piece of cardstock and crop out a leaf. But if you want the detail of the veins, you need to add the little detail piece to the center of the leaves before you cut it out. Whoops, is that upside down? Or maybe that one goes in here. I might have left the other one on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss table. So anyways, what I would do is I would take some washi tape and I would connect these 2 things together. I would run them through in one pass and get the leaf with the veins on it. You can also do that with the Poinsettia Petals. As you can see, I do have these 2 dies taped together. And then when I run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I get this nice Poinsettia petal leaf with the detail veins already in it. So you can cut out the different sizes of these and make your full poinsettias with that too. So that's really cool. There's also a die for this little pine bough, I guess you would call it. There is a die for this little spriggy guy here, and he also has some center pieces or centers that we will use in the card that I'm going to make for you today. We have some of these little tiny poinsettias that I actually did not cut out, although I can show you a card. So this card here shows 2 of those small poinsettias cropped out. Then we have these 2 little middles, flower middles. And here's one of them on this card. This is the open one. And then here they are layered together on this card. And on this card, you can also see where I did cut out some of that super fun plush poinsettia vellum paper. So let me get the supplies for the card and we'll get started on making it. All right, here are the supplies for the card. This is kind of a little bit of a fun fold card in a sense. So we have got some ink pads here, our stamps. I've got a little sponge dauber. We've got the little beaded pearl centers. I've got a dark soft suede Stampin' Blend marker. It's not necessary to have this, but I think it might be kind of cool. So here are our pieces. So we've got a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of old olive. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of garden green, 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of whisper white. We're going to layer all those together. I then have a 2 3/4 by 8 piece of whisper white that I folded in half because we're going to make a gift card holder. Woohoo! And then this is 3 by 4 1/4 that this is going to set on. I also have a large stitched circle. This is the largest one out of our stitched shapes dies. And then I have got 3 petals of the poinsettias cropped out of whisper white. And I did all these. You can see the veins that the dies put in there for you. And you can do this one of two ways. You can do like I do and put the washi tape on both of the pieces and run them through in one pass. Or you could cut it out and then send it through again and emboss it with this piece here. I just find it to be quicker. And honestly, this is the way I've been using the dies most of the time. Is just to create these pieces here and then put them together. And I also did the same thing with the leaves. So I have 2 smaller leaves and 1 large leaf. I also have 2 pieces of the designer series paper. This is the pattern here. And these measure, let's see, 3 1/4 by 4, if I remember correctly. Let me check my notes here. Excuse me, 3 1/2 by 4. And we are going to cut these on the diagonal. So I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. I'm going to get my trimmer in here and we're going to cut these and then we'll come back to this here. Okay, so I have the 2 pieces of designer series paper here. Again, they both measure 3 1/2 by 4. And we're going to cut them on the diagonal, but we're going to cut them opposite of each other. So what I mean is one of the pieces you will put in your trimmer like this. And you can see that this point is a little bit higher up on the trimmer than this point is. So then this one, you're going to do it opposite. So that you have this side, this point is higher than this point, okay? So we're gonna cut them one at a time. You wanna make sure both of the points are in the track. And then just close the trimmer. Whoops, I like to start in the center of the paper and then go both. So that one's done. And then we're going to slide this one over and we're going to get this one also. Okay. And now we have those 2 pieces. All right. So we've got our 2 pieces cut. So this, you'll make 2 cards from these. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a piece from each half and put them together. Okay, that's why you need 2 pieces, because let's see, is it these that go together? No, it was these 2 that go together. Yep, and then these 2, because you can't just take these 2 pieces and put them together. They don't go together the right way, because we need them to be alongside to longside. So I'd have to flip that over to make that work. So that's why you cut 2 of them, and then you can make 2 cards. So again, we're going to need this one, and then this one would be your other one for your other card. So we'll take these 2 pieces here and we are going to start doing some assembly. Once you get your pieces cut, the assembly part of the card is very simple. So I've got some of our Stampin' Seal here, and I'm going to go ahead and just add some Stampin' Seal to these panels and get those together. So you'll have an 1/8 of an inch border on these pieces. And then we'll add the layer of white. Okay, same thing, you'll have an 1/8 of an inch border. Okay, and then these 2 pieces here, I'm going to actually use our liquid glue because I only want to have glue on the straight sides. And I don't want a bunch of glue, so I don't want to use my seal because the width of the adhesive is too wide. So I just want a skinny bead of glue here. And then you're going to attach this on the garden green layer here. At the side and the bottom. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing with this piece here. So again, we're just going to put a skinny bead just along the edge here. Whoops, then my glue decided to stop working. There we go. But this one, I'm actually going to put a little more glue right down here. Ah, come on, glue. I have to get a new one out because I want it to attach right there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add those two pieces. Again, you're basically covering up the garden green here. All right, so then we can take our large circle piece and we can attach that. So we'll just kind of do some glue right here. Actually, maybe I'll just go ahead and use some seal. Like that. We'll attach the circle. So you want to center that from side to side. And then, you know, about a 3/8 of an inch or so from the bottom. Okay, so we have that attached. Good. We also have these pieces here. So this panel needs to attach to, oh, first of all, we need to do some stamping on this. Whoa, Barb, getting ahead of myself here. So I've got a few stamps out of the set. I've got these little holly berries, I guess they are, and then the little filler. And we're going to do those in maybe some non-traditional colors. So I've got the soft suede and the So Saffron. I'm also going to use some Old Olive with one of the other images and the little foliage piece in Old Olive. I'm going to bring in a bit of a scrap paper here. So I'm going to start out with these little holly berries, and I'm going to stamp them. One of them down here, about like so, and then we'll bring this other side like this. And then I'm going to stamp them again up kind of in this corner just a bit. Okay, then we're going to bring in this little guy here, and this is the filler. Now I can remember how this goes. I think it's like this. And we're going to try to do our two-step stamping here and hope we get that. Pretty close, close enough. And then we'll get this side. There we go. And then we'll get this little, these little pieces up here. There we go. I'm also going to stamp my sentiment. This is actually thank you. Give somebody a gift card as a nice thank you. So we're going to make sure I have enough ink on that. And then we're going to ink or stamp that about like so. Good. And then the last thing I want to do is just bring in just a bit of the Old Olive color by stamping some of this fern or pine bough image right there. And then a little bit of it right there. Okay, now we can glue this into place. Put our inks away so I don't make a gigantic mess out of myself. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add our seal to the back of this. There we go. And we're going to add that to our 3 by 4 1/4 inch piece of Old Olive. Whoops, please don't stick yet. I'm not ready. I have a little trick for you. If you happen to stick it too soon and you can't get it off, like I'm having some trouble right now, you bring in a heat tool and you give it a little bit of heat, you can usually get that off. There we go. Now we're going to get another chance. And this time I'm going to make this chance count. Okay, I want it about like that, I think. There we go. All right. So then that is going to tuck down in here behind our little circle. So it's going to look like that. Oh, that's so cute. And then I happen to have a gift card here. This is a Starbucks card. And so I'm just going to take a couple of glue dots and attach that to the inside of my folded cardstock here. And we'll just center that inside. Cute. And we'll just tuck that down inside there. And then what I wanted to do to kind of finish this off was work with our little poinsettia pieces here and our leaves. So we'll bring those back in. I'm going to bring my scratch paper back in because I'm going to add a little bit of color to the center of these pieces with some So Saffron ink and a sponge dauber. And I like to get some ink on my dauber and then tap a little bit of it off. because I find that a lot of times you have way more than you think. And you can always add more ink to things, but it's very difficult to remove it. So if you start out lightly, you can always add more ink. Okay, we're going to do that to all 3 of these pieces here. And you'll notice I didn't really have to tap into my ink again. I had plenty of ink on there. Okay, so these are going to layer together. But I also wanted to do a little trick here with these beaded pearls, and I wanted to color them with my marker here. And so I'm going to actually use a glue dot and stick it down to my scratch paper here, just so it doesn't move and I can see what I'm doing better. So I'm just kind of moving my head down here a little bit so I can see. And I'm just going to kind of color around this little guy. So it's the soft suede color instead of the pearl. And yet I don't think the camera's picking this up, but it still looks kind of pearly. Is that even a word? It still looks kind of pearly through the color. Okay, so there we have done that. And this does dry pretty quickly. Whoa, check that out. So it left my glue dot, not a problem. You can see how that added some nice color to that. So I'm going to come back to my glue dots, and I'm going to add a couple of glue dots this time. And now Stampin' Blends markers are permanent, so the ink is already dry on there and it is permanent. And I'm going to set that right in the center of my smallest piece here of the puzzle. And then what am I going to do here? I'm going to actually use some seal, I think. So I'm going to bring in a silicone mat just in case I get some seal in between the poinsettia leaves, that it'll just go onto my silicone mat. So I'm going to offset these. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to add some adhesive to this little guy here. And we will offset that again. Okay, so that I think looks pretty good. And then if you want, you can take a bone folder or whatever other tool you might have, and you can kind of curl these leaves, curl the petals. Just gives a little bit more 3D effect that way, which I think is kind of cool. And I'm curling them down. You could certainly curl them up if you liked that better, and we could maybe curl up, you know, these middle layer ones. Okay, and then we can kind of maybe curl these down. There we go. And then I'm going to attach this to my circle with some dimensionals. So I'm actually going to bring in a few dimensionals here. Okay. Get the backings off of those. And we're going to add this to the center of our circle. Like that. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add these little leaves. And so I'm going to put a glue dots on the backs of all of the leaves here. And then I'm just going to tuck them underneath my poinsettia flower here. And then we will be done with this. Let me tuck that last one under there. And there we have it. So we have our cute little gift card holder, a fun little way, and then you still have your 2 pieces of designer series paper, and you can make another one of these cards. So I want to thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel right down here in the corner, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And I would appreciate your business at shoppingwithbarb.com for your Stampin' Up! Orders. And again, the links to my class are in the video below. So thanks again, and have a wonderful day.